Hey there guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Bocchi the Rock. So, we got off to a pretty good start last episode. Being a fan of the original manga, I loved what they did with the animation, what they did with the music, and, just the overall adaptation, right? It definitely did the characters justice. Bocchi's, inner freakouts are absolutely hilarious, which is something that they absolutely nailed, and definitely gives it a lot more energy than, looking at it in a manga form, right? I don't say this very often, but this is one of those cases where I do believe the animation is better than the manga. So hopefully they can continue to keep this energy up, and story-wise, I already know what's going to happen, right? So I'm not really expecting too much there. So to me, the biggest hope that I have is that they can have a little bit more original music put in here. It is, after all, still a story about a girl band doing music, so hopefully we get some kick-ass songs out of it. And on that note, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, hello, doggy. What? I don't remember this. What's this for? What do you need to cool down for? What? Don't question. Don't question Bocchi-chan. She does what she wants. Right, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but if you listen to this with earphones or some very good speakers, right, they take care to separate the channels for the lead guitar and the rhythm guitar. Seishin Complex. Youth Complex. And I love how the lyrics, obviously have to do with the anime as well. If I were to make a criticism for this, though, I do feel like the mix is a little bit too... I do wish that they just bring the instrument volume a little bit higher. Line messages. This guy. Again, I don't remember. Is this original? I don't remember this. Actually, no. I think... Actually, no. Now that I think about it, I think it happened. No, she's just weird. Yep. Uh, I love her mental gymnastics. Mm. Saudi Arabia. Hey, it's the name of the opening. Basically, a lot of J-rock actually. Japanese rock, in terms of its lyrics and its themes, are definitely a lot more uplifting and upbeat compared to, I think, Western rock. I feel, anyways. Obviously, that's a big generalization, and you'll be able to find different kinds of themes in all of this. Okay, okay, I definitely remember this part actually. That's some foreshadowing. Ah, yeah, this part. No, I always love it in band anime when they really drop some knowledge into the works, so that we can also understand it as well. Now, this is kind of like the live house culture in Japan, right? And I guess probably in the West as well. So basically, you need to meet a certain amount of people who are paying to see you. Because obviously, they need the rental fees for the actual venue. Probably they also rent the equipment as well. She's definitely gonna become a NEET in the future. Hey, if you go viral, that's also like... Like I said, she's funny. She's so funny. Is she trying to get a coal? Yeah, yeah, okay. You know, you gotta admit her determination to actually do something, right? It's like, remember to come. Again, I actually do think the anime is expanding on a lot of the scenes because there's definitely some stuff that I don't recall from the manga, which makes sense, right? The manga is actually just a yonkoma, a four koma, like 4 panels. No, this girl. Apple juice. It's like, you're a guitar hero! Anyway, obviously, I feel like that's, that is definitely a little bit of a stretch, right? Being able to recognize somebody just because of the way they play. So that probably, also explains why there's so many, in lots of these live houses, it's always a required minimum one drink or something like that. That's kind of interesting, actually. I don't really know about that. So I've always thought that it was kind of a way to guarantee business for the venue, but if this is actually true, if it's because they need to be recognized as a restaurant, so they need to serve this, that makes a lot of sense as well. Alexander's probably a play on the band Alexandros. Like I said, the author really likes to throw a lot of references in here. So, they're really nice girls to her. I mean, honestly, this is such a dream job for, a dream scenario for somebody who does want to pursue music, right? Being able to play here, being able to work here, listen to all these different bands. Oh wow, they actually made music for the other bands as well. Damn. And hence, the underlying, you know, the underlying story of this work. Yeah, there actually is an original song. Bro. This girl. Uh, She's like, I need to recharge. I need to get home. Oh. And she's like, I have a cold. Oh, that will be soon. Hey, remember the girl from episode 1? Alright, we've already seen the ending, so I'm not gonna go through this once again, but anyways, I will see you guys after this. Alright, and that was episode 2 of Bocchi the Rock, and we continue right where we left off, right? So, actually I went back and quickly reread the manga because, you know, this is very early on, and I kind of forgot about it already. So, actually it was my my memories that were off, and actually all of the things that happened in this episode really did happen in the manga as well. Obviously, some scenes were a little bit longer. You know, in the actual manga, like each chapter, if you will, is only like 10 pages long, and as I said before, it's a yonkoma sort of manga, right? So you basically have 4 panels to each page, and it's like that kind of a manga there. So I really did enjoy them, you know, having it into being merged into like one fluid kind of thing. And to the adaptation's credit, they're actually taking this slowly as well, right? They're really taking their time to go through each and every one of this. You know, Bocchi, her personality like is, you know, you feel for her, you think she's funny, at the same time you also feel she's very annoying, right? And that perfectly captures the feeling that I got while I was reading the manga as well. So, great job on them doing that kind of adaptation there. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to see her gradually, you know, gradually growing up. If you think about it, really, compared to the other animes, you know, music animes that are of a similar nature, right? I mentioned before, like K-On!, like Bang Dream, or like Show by Rock, or something like that. Definitely this manga is one where, even though it covers the same topic, right? It covers female bands, all girl bands. This is definitely much more of a story that's focused specifically on Hitori-chan, on Bocchi-chan here, right? And it's really her sort of her growth, if you will, right? Especially, and I do find it to be quite an interesting contrast when you compare it to a lot of the other sort of, to the other main characters of these other anime. To be honest, I feel like if we're just looking from the pure anime similarity standpoint in terms of the character, probably the closest one to this would be the main character from Show by Rock. Like I said before, Betadori, right, the original OG characters, OG setting from Bang Dream also was kind of like this, but not quite, and that was never really made into an anime, right? The OG version, right? What we have now is a new version where the main character is all like Kira Kira Doki Doki, very, very positive, right? Such as the drummer here. And obviously K-On! Is, you know, we have happy-go-lucky Yui, nothing more needs to be said about that. So it is kind of refreshing to watch, to look at this kind of character, even if it does frustrate you sometimes how she goes completely off the walls and off the charts. Like, I mean, I guess I can't really say that it's not fair, right? I don't really have like that kind of social anxiety. I think most people probably to a certain extent do have some sort of certain social anxiety. Hey, it's not easy getting up on stage and performing in front of people, right? But and you know, there are definitely introverts that hate human interactions, that hate having to talk with other people too much. I'm sure that there's probably plenty of introverts who, like, I think this is a good test, right? Like, when you go into a store, are you the type that strikes up a conversation with the store clerk and tries to get their recommendations or whatnot? Or are you the type to be like, no, just keep away from me, let me just shop in peace, I don't want to talk to you, right? I think it's that kind of situation here. But Hitori, Bocchi-chan definitely goes way over the charts in terms of her own anxiousness and whatnot. But, beyond all of that, right? Beyond all of that, like, the actual story behind it is solid. I love the setting of it. I love how they're also dispensing information at the same time, how these lighthouses, how these I think the translation that they use is mostly clever, right? Because lighthouse itself is really much more of an Eastern, of an Asian word, if you will. It's used in Japan. It's used in here in my country as well. But I think, particularly in the West, like in Europe or the Americas, I don't really hear them using the term lighthouse. But maybe not. But it's much more, I guess, clubs. To me, clubs is always, someplace you go clubbing, nightclubs and that kind of stuff. But I guess in this context, it kind of works as well, right? Basically, the places that bands can play at. But then again, if I think about it more, is there actually this kind of culture in the West? Huh. I actually don't know. Being here, as someone who lives in Asia and whatnot, this is just a sort of a very natural thing to me, having these sort of live houses, which basically, it's typically under, a lot of them definitely are in the basements, just to make sure that the noise doesn't get out or whatnot. Or perhaps in the second floor or whatnot, whereas the base floor would be more of a a general reception area, or as they say here, something like a cafe, something like a drink cafe, selling some refreshments and beverages and whatnot. So it's definitely not. I actually don't know if there is this kind of culture in the West. Maybe not. Let me know, right? But in any case, this is definitely quite common here in Asia. You have these sort of venues which maybe can hold 100. The bigger ones maybe can hold 200 people. But most of the time, especially with these kinds of student bands and whatnot, you're probably generally looking at an audience of 20 to 40 or 50 people, somewhere in that range, right? So it's definitely a pretty nice experience. You can get up and personal with these bands. Obviously, the quality of the bands playing and the sound quality are meh, but it is a pretty fun experience, I have to say. And here in this episode, they obviously made a reference to a really large band, Alexandros, which is, one of the top bands in Japan, which I also really like as well. I'm sure that they probably also started their careers in places like this. It is basically a basic rite of passage for most bands, including these sort of high school bands as well. There has been many high school bands that started their careers in these sort of live houses, were gradually scouted by some music scouts, signed to a label, making an album, making an EP, and then gradually making their major debut, which we may or may not also be seeing here in Bocchi the Rock as well. Although, no spoilers or anything, right? Actually, I also don't know how it's gonna end as well. The manga isn't really. The manga doesn't really have all of that many chapters, to be honest. So I guess that's something that we can wait for. In any case, right now they're still missing a member of the band. They're still missing their vocalist, which we got a little sneak peek of both in the first episode and at the very end of this episode. So, as it is with these kinds of anime, with these kind of works, next up we are going to be getting our final member of the band. And yeah, all I can say is all of them have some pretty damn unique personalities, but obviously all lovable. So, I don't think there's really too much else to add for this episode. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really think so. Obviously, we know that Bocchi is Guitar Hero. We know that she can play a lot better than what she actually did. And, will she become more and more recognized as she gradually gains confidence, as she gradually is able to fully unleash her potential in front of others and overcome her anxiety, right? Really, I feel like that is just what the entire story is about. I mean, it's literally named after her, Bocchi the Rock, right? But anyways, another enjoyable episode, and like I said, I love that they actually made the time took the time to have a kind of sort of an original song there as well. We didn't really get to hear more of it, which I guess is kind of a bummer, but hey, I mean, we're basically here just to listen to the girls sing as well, right? So it's kind of okay, but I mean, having that much, I'm assuming that probably the full song was written, but although I didn't really see anything in the credits, so it's hard to say. But like I said at the very beginning, I am hoping that we do get a lot of original music coming from this in order to fully utilize this genre and this topic to its full extent. Anyways, that is it for our second episode of Bocchi the Rock. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.